Well, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Sandy. I'm not Sandy. I get it. I'm not Sandy. I understand. Well, welcome to CEO Warrior, Breakfast with Sandy. I'm Kevin Hill, one of our master advisors and director of training with CEO Warrior. And this morning, I wanted to talk a little bit about leadership. I think leadership and people judging your leadership, understanding your leadership, it's a super valid point right now. Our country is looking at a division, people agreeing with the new president, our new president taking some really big stances, and a little bit of shock and awe in his first few days of being a president. And it made me think about what does leadership look like, and on a smaller scale, those of us, good morning, James. Those of us who are looking at leading our companies and driving our company's growth, we have to make leadership decisions. We have to be leaders. And as I said in the title here, leadership is not a popularity contest. Leadership is not a simple democracy. Let's take a poll and see what everyone wants to do. There's challenges in that. There's positives in going that direction as well, having a lot of input. But at the end of the day, as a leader, as the owner, critical manager of a home services company, you have to make decisions that not everyone's going to agree with. And if you do it with a clear head, with the intention of growth, the intention of serving clients at the highest level, serving the employees at the highest level, and giving them an opportunity to truly earn for themselves, well, there's not a lot of play there. There's not a lot of wiggle room for someone to say you're not making the right decision. You'll always have your doubters. You'll always have people who say, I don't care. You could walk outside, look up, say the sky is blue. There will be people out there that will argue with that. Simple as look up, yep, it's blue. But they're going to argue with that. So you're going to make these decisions with the greater good of the company in mind. I mean, again, we're talking about making decisions with integrity, of course. But you're going to make decisions that people aren't going to understand it. I've lived through it several times, either on the decision making side or the receiving side, if you will. And neither are easy. Yeah, I love it when you make you use the word change in any kind of group setting, meeting, training, what have you, and it's Chicken Little, sky is falling. Oh my God. Again, you could be telling people you're giving them $1 million, and they're complaining about the taxes that they have to pay on it. So, again, leadership is not easy. If there's a vision, a painted vision, there are core values, and all of those are taken into consideration for this decision making, it shouldn't be that difficult. It should be relatively easy to make that decision, to also explain the why behind the decision. Like I said, some people just are not going to understand. Some people don't want to understand. Some people are closed minded. Some people will even say, that's not the way we do it within your organization. Why did we do it this way? Why are we changing? Right? We, as an organization, the previous organization I worked for, we spent a lot of time growing over the years that I worked there, which was wonderful. But with that growth came leadership decisions, right? Came positions that we had to take as the leadership team of the organization on our growth, our expansion, our new services we are providing. All in all, we spent an awful lot of time sitting in a conference room discussing what we need to do and how it benefits our customers, our clients, our employees, and then the company. But often enough, people don't see that. They think company is always first, and we know for a fact that it's not. We chose to do things, we chose not to do things, we chose to incur costs on our own as an organization and not pass them along to the employees or the clients, and yet still, when we made decisions, let's say a price increase, we got bombarded that we were gouging, or we got negative feedback. it was always kind of one of those things that kind of threw you off a little bit. But you know, as leaders, as critical managers, as owners of home services companies, you have to make these decisions. A failure to plan, as they say, is a plan to fail. And if you do that, you're letting down a whole bunch of people. It's okay that you're going to have a few people who decide they don't agree with you. That's okay. Make your decisions with integrity, explain the why as needed, and then simply move forward and adhere to that new change. Right? We also hear a lot of our members will talk about making a change, getting pushback, and then not holding anyone accountable to that change. Although a lot of time, effort came into making that decision and changing or stopping doing something, and now all of a sudden, because you get a little bit of pushback, you're just not going to hold people accountable for it. Seems like a lot of wasted time to me. But that's how a lot of people go about their home services, with the idea of, I don't want to make anyone too angry. Why? Well, if they're angry, then they leave and it's too hard to recruit. There's some truth in that. But if you're constantly needing to make decisions on change, make decisions for growth, make decisions for the betterment of your employees or your clients, then some people are just not going to agree with it. Like we said, those people aren't on your bus, and you have to have your team on your bus. I'm a pure believer in having some decisions done collectively, ask opinions, have, I think, good leadership skills are when you're talking to your folks, getting their feedback, making decisions with them, right? Or allowing them to tell you what they think is best and then holding them accountable to that. Those things are all fantastic from leadership decisions. But when you make changes, significant changes in your organization, there's going to be some people that question you. You have your choice. Explain the why, sit down and discuss it with a team. Maybe it's a little bit slight change in your painted vision of your organization. Talk about it, right? The worst thing you can do is make a decision, have someone push back, and then all of a sudden just stomp your feet till someone either quits or you feel like you beat it into them. There has to be some give and take there. I'm not saying that you give in to your employees, but if you keep them in mind, keep their betterment in mind, keep them informed throughout the decision making process, often enough people will say, I don't agree with it, but let's move forward, if they're going to doubt you, or they're right on board. So again, I thought, based on the last couple of days, today's Wednesday, right? Monday, we swore in a new president, and again, President Trump has made several changes, has signed several bills and things. Not everyone's going to agree with it, right? Some of that, as I said, shock and awe. Some of that is because of his vision of making our country different, better, versus past. Then this is what he sees is the right decision. And again, massive critics. Now, bring that down to a much smaller scale, being your organization, impacts you a heck of a lot more, but smaller scale, of course. Now, let's talk. Making those decisions, you're not going to be the most popular. You're not going to appease everyone all the time. Do your best, be informed, help people understand why, and I think your decision making becomes a lot easier. So that's what I wanted to talk about this morning. Hope everyone has a wonderful Wednesday. I will say, if you're in an area that's being impacted by very cold weather or snow where you normally don't, I saw New Orleans and parts of Florida getting snow. South Carolina is getting snow. Charleston is getting snow. It's kind of a nutty world out there. Be safe. Hopefully all things go well for you today. And again, thank you for listening. You all have a wonderful day. Thanks.